Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I just wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the mess. If you hear some noise, it's some kids at the pool, and they have been having a good time, girl, for the last few hours. So it's a little noisy. Hopefully, you can't hear it. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get into the mess. So this is according to theroot.com. What Tiana Taylor just scored in her divorce settlement from Iman Shump, you're not gonna ever pronounce his last name, will blow your mind. After 2 years and countless stories in the press about their marriage dissolution, the ink has finally dried on Tiana Taylor and Iman's divorce. And let's just say Taylor walked away with a major win. As we previously told you back in January 2023, Taylor filed the paperwork to end their relationship, citing accusations that Iman was jealous of her fame, insecure, and narcissistic. What's more is that Taylor initially allegedly filed with just their initials to keep the matter private, but Iman allegedly filed his paperwork with both of their full names, which put the documents in their relationship dynamic smack dab in the center of controversy. It's allegedly. I thought that's what happened. I thought that she used their initials and then he went back um, and whenever he did his paperwork, he put their full names, and that's how we found out. And then also, he got online with that girl, and she was wearing his chain. Tiana tried to keep everything under wraps. She tried to protect him, and then he came out and then was dragging her. You remember her getting online talking about not too much on my bestie, girl, not too much on my bestie. Hey. And then the people started getting a hold to the court documents, and then Tiana got upset because, of course, and I can understand because in reality, this is really none of our business. Okay, so I can get why she was upset because this is her business. She's trying to keep it a private matter. But the fact of the matter is, we found out because of your nigga. We found out because of that man. Y'all be trying to tell y'all be worried about the outside, the enemy. Girl, the enemy be sleeping in y'all bed. Just keep on going though. In the months that followed, both parties stayed relatively silent as they worked to reach an agreement. Now, per Realtor.com, it looks like the end of the road has finally come with the Rose and the Harlem Singer coming out on top. You know what's so crazy? I honestly, when I saw this hitting the internet, like I thought I heard something. I remember talking about this some months ago, but I guess it just wasn't finalized. I guess that's what they thought was going to happen. Because I was like, when this came out, like a day or two ago, I think yesterday, I was like, why is it? Why are they reporting this like this is new news? But I guess this is a finalization. Anyways, so according to the report, she's set to receive 4 luxury properties valued at more than $10 million. She'll also get to keep a handful of cars worth a combined 1 million, including a 300,000 Maybach and a 700,000. I'm sorry, and a $70,000 Mercedes Sprinter and more. She'll also retain ownership of her businesses, which include her production company, the Aunties, and more. As far as her 2 daughters, 9-year-old Junie and 9-year-old Rue Rose are concerned, Iman will be responsible for paying $8,000 in monthly child support and covering their private school tuition. Neither Taylor nor Iman have commented publicly on their divorce terms. Baby, baby, honey. I be trying to, baby, let me tell you something, baby. Let me tell you something, baby. Hey, I was hearing that it was an infidelity clause in their. I guess they had a prenup, and I guess there was an infidelity clause in the prenup. Hey, I don't know how true that is. That's alleged. This is listen. People cheat, women cheat, men cheat. I have this belief that um, in relationships, I feel like the majority of the time men cheat first, and then if a woman does step outside, it's because she's trying to get her lick back. You know what I'm saying? Um, but you know how you really have to have The lack of self-control that has to run through your body for you to, if this is true, for there allegedly to be an infidelity clause within your prenuptial agreement, and you can't keep control of keeping your penis inside of your underwear. And now here we are. Because all you had to do was just keep your little wee wee in your pants. That's all you had to do. But you have no self control. And then it boom, it blew up in your face. Hey. Um, her mother came out and she actually had a statement also. Let me try to find that statement that her mother came out with. Okay, so this was reported by the girl from Breakfast Club, Lorena LaRose. Is that her name? Lorene LaRosa. I believe that's how you say it. Well, she reported that Teyana Taylor's mom and manager, Nikki Taylor, has responded to reports of $1 million divorce settlement between Teyana and Iman. It's awful strange that the case is sealed from a divorce that was finalized in July 1st, 2024. But all of this information as to what she allegedly got is public this week. What about is she trying to say that this is Iman leaking the information? Girl, that's what it sounds. It sounds like Mama Taylor is trying to say, girl, this is coming from his side, trying to make it seem as though he didn't get nothing. So this is what she said. What about what the other party received? Let's be crystal clear. Both parties walked away with properties, vehicles, and businesses that they obtained separately. Nikki Taylor. It sounds like she's trying to say, girl, I don't know, girl. I won't put nothing past Imam because, again, a lot of this stuff started to go public once he. Y'all. I mean, I was about to start. I was about to bring DDG and Haley into this. I'm leaving. I'm leaving people alone. Anyways, shout out to TT. Shout out to Auntie TT. Girl, can I say something? I want to say something. If your marriage lasts, I think that could be a beautiful thing. I really do. I'm all down for healthy, positive, loving, mutually beneficial relationships. If the marriage comes to an end, baby, hopefully you can walk away with a little bit of shangle, wangle, wangle. Girl, hopefully you can walk away, honey, with your purse filled to the top, baby. Hey, shout out to the girlies who made out good in the business of marriage. Girl, we be trying to tell y'all, girl, a marriage is a business. Y'all don't want to believe us. If it wasn't, then if marriage was not a business, then there would be no such thing as lawyers and judges being involved. And then don't have a little bit of money. It's a business. And if we have to terminate the business, then we have to go through the list of things to see who's going to get what. Who can walk away with what? Who can walk away with the most? You may not walk away with anything. Teyana, like she walked away with a little bit of shang-a-lang-a-lang. Oh, and they also said she got a settlement too. So I think she got the houses, a 7-figure settlement, girls, some cars. Shout out to the rich black women. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to the rich black girlies. Yes. Shout out to the rich black girlies with all the houses and monies and cars. Girls, we need to send Teyana a feeling like a rich black woman's t-shirt. Huh. Nah. Shout out to Teyana Taylor. Make sure you get your feeling like a rich black woman t-shirt at www.rodneythavoice.com. Okay? Sweaters included. Sweaters and hoodies. Oh, and another thing. I'm so sick and tired of you niggas getting online talking about, see, this is why you don't get married. Let's be very clear. Girl, the majority of y'all will not have to give $10 million worth of homes away in a divorce. Girl, $1 million in cars, or a lump time, a 7-figure one-time payment, girl, $8,000 in child support, and pay for private education, girl. So it be the main ones online talking about, see, this is why marriage don't benefit the man, girl. You ain't gonna have to worry about none of this more than likely. You might have to just worry about a $250 payment and child support. That's it. Relax. So y'all be getting worked up over stuff that ain't gonna never even girl come down your road. Now we can move on. Baby, so the Married to Medicine reunion trailer dropped earlier today. And the trailer actually looks very I'm okay with the trailer. I'm okay with the trailer. I really thought that they were gonna I really honestly thought that Phaedra was gonna be at the reunion, but it appears as though Phaedra was really I thought that they were just like trying to play a joke, you know. Or not necessarily a joke, not a joke, but I just thought that they were trying to keep it under wraps. That Phaedra actually did attend the reunion, but it appears as though Phaedra did not attend the reunion. I think that is so whack. Even though Phaedra really didn't do none of Married to Medicine, I do believe there are certain things that Phaedra needed to answer for, have a conversation about. I think it would have been nice to see Phaedra talk about the money that she donated, right? Um, I think it would have been. I think that a conversation should have definitely been had about how she tried to act like she didn't know that Apollo was coming, and she knew the entire time. Um, you say that Apollo gets jealous when he sees you with other men, and you invited his friend. Be very clear, Phaedra don't owe Apollo nothing, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that she said that Apollo gets jealous when he sees you with men, and you invited his homeboy. You see what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, the reunion looks good. Um, the men, we're gonna have to get into some stuff. So Dr. Simone really I said hate online. I don't want to use the word hate, but I do believe that Dr. Simone, I just don't think Dr. Simone cares for Quad. I don't. I think that Dr. Simone is willing to be cordial. I think that Dr. Simone is willing to try and put her personal feelings aside, for the betterment of the show. Um, but then, because I don't think she really particularly cares for Quad, I think it always kind of comes back up. Now, again, this is the trailer. We don't really know who Dr. Simone was talking to, but she did make a comment about Quad giving them her ass to kiss. So let me be very clear. Quad is not perfect. Quad has said some things where I've rolled my eyes. Quad has said some things where I thought it was just completely stupid. Um, but I'm never going to change my mind on this, and we're going to tap on this when the reunion comes on. Um, we know that Quad and Gregory were over there fighting each other, right? If my friend told me that her and her husband used to fight, and I still befriended that husband, how could I then turn around and feel a way about my friend basically giving me her ass to kiss? Because some people want to start at the whole sister circle stuff, even though Quad did give them a shout out. I think they left before, Quad is a little long winded like me. I think some of the ladies left before Quad could get to them. But what we can't pretend is as if when they found out that Quad and Dr. G were over there fighting, right? Some of the ladies basically said that they didn't believe it. Then we turn around, fast forward, you've befriended my ex husband. If that were me, if you were my friend and I told you that me and my husband used to fight, and then you still befriended my ex husband, it's basically fuck you till we die. You're gonna have to pick and choose. Because you're not gonna call me your brother or your sister and you still hanging out with the man who we used to tussle in the house. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I have had friends who I knew was in the wrong with a nigga. I knew they was. Okay? I knew they was. But I'm still not choosing his side over my sister's though. Now I'm gonna tell you, bitch, you know that happened because of you, right? But I'm not gonna be kikiing and laughing with that nigga though, because that's my sister. That's how that works. So when people try to act like they don't know how that works, I kind of get confused. But again, I could be going down a road that I don't even necessarily have to go down. But I feel like when Simone made that comment, she was more than likely talking to Quad. Her and Quad got into it at the end of the trailer. Um, I, Again, I don't think Simone particularly cares for Quad. I just don't. And it is what it is. You know, I did see a picture. I was looking, not a picture. I saw behind. I want to post this picture. So I want y'all to look at this picture. Before we get into the picture, I want you to hear this part of Simone and Quad getting into it. Just listen to this, okay? You gave us your ass to kiss, and we hung out with Greg. You got mad. You got mad. No, you got exactly what you deserve. Hey, get the out of here. Oh my God. You gave us your ass a kiss, and you got exactly what you deserve. That's what Simone told Quad. And then y'all will get in my comment section talking about why Quad girl got an attitude. I tried to tell y'all. Didn't I try to tell y'all? Y'all don't like listening to me because y'all say I'm just too for Quad's ass. I tried to tell y'all that Dr. Simone and the other people, girl, they are not friends with Dr. G like that. They're not. They're not friends with Dr. G like that. Girl. Simone basically just said, girl, we were just hanging out with the nigga because I was pissed off at you. And then you got what you deserve. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it when the reunion come out, so we can really break this shit down and really get into the details and the layers of it all. But I be trying to tell the people, girl, see, I pay attention to what's going on. Simone and Dr. G, and I don't think any of those people in that group were close like that with Dr. G. It might be one or two of the men, one or two of the men. I think that Dr. Damon and Dr. G only had a professional relationship. That's it. Dr. Gene already told us that he wasn't that close with Dr. G. Girl, I don't think the other men were close like that. I think it was one of those things. If I saw him out and about, it would be cool. Cecil is probably the only one that comes to my mind who probably was cool with Dr. G, but I don't think Dr. Simone was. I think Dr. Simone kind of just swooped in the picture when it was time to bring him around because she was still pissed off at Quad. But we gonna get into it. But let's look at this picture real fast, and I'm gonna tell you why the girls was cutting back acting the fool. As soon as I saw what was behind Contessa, I said, "This is why they acting a fool at the reunion." Look at this. Now, baby, look at this picture. Bring up the picture. As soon I was watching the reunion, and as I'm looking, not the reunion, the trailer. And as I'm looking at the trailer, I look behind Contessa and I see some bottles. And I said, what is this, girl? I said, no wonder why they about to fight at the reunion, honey. Let me tell you what I see. I see some Don Julio Actifulio. Y'all see that Don Julio bottle right there? Honey, I see a bottle of Hennessy. I know y'all see that bottle of Hennessy. Okay? I see a bottle of Hennessy. I see a little bit of Jack Daniels. Now, I don't know what this bottle is right here, but it's some brown. Girl, it's some whiskey or something. And then it's another bottle that hasn't been opened. The Jack Daniels in the other bottle, that wasn't open. But that Don Julio Actifulio, that was definitely open. And that Hennessy was definitely opened. And then as you can see on the table, you see those shot glasses? Do y'all see those big ass glasses of shots? I said, girl, no wonder y'all about to fight. Y'all back there gulping down, girl, quadruple shots of Don Julio Actifulio. Girl, y'all back there taking girl a 20-ounce shot of Hennessy. Girl, I said, baby, that was toe up at that reunion. Tore up. Do you hear me? I'm not mad at it though. But that's exactly why they almost got into a fight. I'm not almost got into a fight. Anyways, I'm ready for the reunion. We're gonna get into some mess when the reunion airs. Um, be ready to put your armor on. We're gonna have to do a little tussling. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Meritor Medicine. All right, y'all. This is according to the Jasmine brand. So Mangione, you know, I will mess somebody's name up, receives $36,500 anonymous donation, largest since his incarceration for allegedly unaliving United Healthcare CEO. So Luigi Mangione's defense fund received a significant boost this week with a $36,500 anonymous donation, the largest since its inception. The donor expressed surprise at the widespread support for Mangione, noting that what intrigues me about this case is how unified folks' responses are, regardless. Baby, hello. They added, I've also been surprised at the almost ubiquitous nature of support towards the suspect that I would expect to be quite bifurcated in this type of litigation, quite exceptional. Girl, okay. The donation surpassed the previous high of $30,000, bringing the fund's total to over $722,000, inching closer to the $1 million goal. Mangione, 26, is accused of unaliving United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in December 2024. While facing federal and state charges, he pleaded not guilty to the state charges and awaits his next court appearance on March 19th, 2025. Baby Luigi, you know, that's my man, baby. He got a little temper, though. Okay. Girl. Y'all know Luigi is my man, baby. That's my man, baby. That's a hill. You know, he a little temper. He got a little temper. Don't piss him off. Okay. He got to work on his temper a little bit, but he mean well. Girl, when he get mad, it's just because he's real passionate about stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he mean well. But I ain't never seen that many people rally behind a white man. Girl, I hate to say this, but I ain't never seen this many people rally behind a white man's death. Girl, it's not funny. I probably should have said that. But I don't think I ever seen this many people be like, girl, Team Luigi, girl, won't care about that white man dying. I said, my God, today. Shout out to Luigi, honey. Girl, make sure y'all put some money on my man books, baby. I ain't got it. Girl, he ain't my man like that. Not to be giving that nigga my goddamn money. He'll be all right. Okay. Anyways, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all.